Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rifa and in today's video I'm going to explain about the differences between Indonesian culture and British culture, and I made this video to fulfill a final exam given by Mrs. Ade. Okay, the first point that I'm going to explain is the physical form. The difference between Indonesian culture and British culture, especially in physical form. In Indonesia, most of people in Indonesia have a sour ripe skin, and then black hair, and then slightly sharp nose, and then medium height. While in British culture, people in British mostly have eye color like gray, brown, and blue, or it could be green, and white skin color. And then the hair color of British people usually brownish black, or blonde, or brunette. And then British people have sharp nose, and then there is also a mediocre. And then people in British has a tall body shape. And then the second point is language. In Indonesia has a standard language that is almost similar to Malaysia, or Melayu, or we call it Melayu. And every region in Indonesia has its own regional language, which is of course very different from standard in Indonesian. And then in British culture, in British, it is clear that the language used is English. However, did you know that English is a combination language used by local people, namely a combination of Norwegian, Anglo-Saxon, and Danish? And then the next point of different culture between Indonesian and British is regards. Usually people in Indonesia regards people by saying good morning or assalamualaikum and use the local language. And then while people in British usually they just say hello, or maybe in informal way they just hi or what's up. And in the UK, it is considered impolite. In British, it is considered impolite to ask someone's age and income. If you want to strike up a conversation with your new acquaintances, you can chat about how they are doing, and then what they are doing, or commenting on the weather. The British may seem withdrawn at first, but once you start chatting with them, you will find that they're friendly and fun people. Okay, then the next point is eating habit. Eating habit for people in Indonesia, usually they often use their hand to eat, and then most of Indonesian people cannot eat without rice, and they cannot live without rice. And then in Indonesia, usually they eating without chili sauce taste blend. In Indonesia, people mostly like spicy food, and then eat noodles with rice, and then Indonesian people like to eat together. And then in British culture, eating habit in British culture, usually British culture use spoon and fork to eat, and then British people usually choose the egg breakfast menu, marsh and bangers, roast meal, bubble and squid, and also fish and chips. And then the last point is drinking habits. In Indonesia, usually people like to drink coffee and tea, while in British, the habit that is the characteristic of British society is drinking tea. Okay, so that's all from me about the differences between Indonesian culture and British culture. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.